right, everyone, thank you again for joining us. This is Build Week 13. Edited a little bit to keep it in your own space and to use as little equipment as possible, or just things that you might have around the house. As always, make sure that you've done some sort of a warm-up before you just jump right into this. Maybe one of the warm-up videos that we've posted, or just do some things to get your heart rate going, some dynamic movements, some squats in place, whatever it is that you want to do to get yourself warmed up. So this build is 5 rounds. There's 3 different supersets. You're going to do each of them 5 times. It's 30 seconds of work to 30 seconds of rest. So I'll take you through each one of them, and then you can do it on your own. So the first one is a 3-point row. So your 3 points of contact are going to be your 2 feet, and then resting one hand on something. So if you have an ottoman or a step stool, something like that, you can also go into a 2-point row, resting your hand or your elbow on your front knee. I'm going to go back to my very trusty bottle of Lysol cleaner here. Gallon bottle is heavier than you think it would be. So I'm going to go into my row. So I would do this for 30 seconds. Any of these that are single side, then turn around and get the other side. So make sure you're doing both sides 5 in a row for those 30 seconds. Then the next is a split squat with my front foot elevated. So a split squat, you set up like you're going into a lunge, upright through the torso. You want to squeeze the glutes to straighten that back leg. So that's the difference between a lunge and a split squat, is I'm focusing on squeezing the glutes to straighten that back leg and come up and down. So that's a regular split squat. So this one again would be 5 each side. You can do optional front foot elevated. So I'm using a yoga block, but you could use a book again, or a step, something like that, just so that your front foot is a little elevated as you go into this. So again, because this is a single side, I would do 5 on one side and then 5 on the opposite side, really working to keep the torso upright through here. So that's my first superset. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds of rest, and you're going to go through those 2 exercises 5 times before you move on to the next. So our next is a marching bridge. So it's a glute bridge. I'm going to come down onto the floor. Hopefully I'll still be in the camera angle. I'm not. I'm going to have to move this, pardon me. Absolutely no technical savvy here at all. So a marching bridge, regular glute bridge. My heels are just out of reach. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and press up into a bridge and come back down. So a marching glute bridge then would be one leg up, press up, come back down. The other leg up, press up, come back down. Really focusing on making sure that your hips are lifting and lowering evenly. Even though you have one side up and one side down, you don't want them all kind of coming up and down at an angle. So that's our marching bridge. And then the next is going to be a walking push-up, or a walk over push-up, I should say. So again, I'm using the yoga block. You could use a book or a step or whatever it is that you want. So I have one hand up and one down. I'm going to press down and keep switching hands, or switching the side that's up in between. So again, I would do each of those 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 5 rounds. And then my last round is, I'll go ahead and leave it down because I need to come back down on the ground, but it's an inchworm. So the first one is an inchworm, working on keeping straight legs. I'm going to reach my hands down right in front of my feet and walk myself out right out of the screen. Walk myself down into a plank. Walk back up to hands right in front of toes. Turn around just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm walking down into a plank. Walk myself back up. And then the last one is a dead bug. Low back, press down into the ground. Hands are going to be up, stacked right up over my shoulders, palms facing in. My knees are stacked over my shoulders. My shins are parallel to the floor, ankles flexed so my toes are pointed back towards my knees. And then alternating, pressing out with the heel, reaching up with the fingertips, come back to center. And then alternate, reach out, come back to center. And just keep alternating for those 30 seconds, working to make sure that your low back is pressed down. And again, you're gonna do that 5 rounds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Make sure you take some time afterwards to stretch. Let me know how you do with this. Drop some comments on Facebook as you do these workouts. If you have any questions about any of them, please reach out and let me know. And everybody stay well. We can't wait to be back with you soon. Take care.